Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Brandon with the Life of an Average Show podcast. I am here, and I got to tell you something. This is kind of unique and weird. And the reason I say that is we did an episode, oh God, I would say just not too long ago, a few days ago, and I had a lot of people with me. I had some great people from History's Worst Mistakes. Some great friends that were doing the pod the other day. We were outside having a really just a drink-a-thon. Let's just call it a drink-a-thon, and that's what we were doing. And I recorded the episode, and I knew it was going to have some issues. Okay, I knew that we were probably gonna, have some editing issues and all that. And it didn't matter. It didn't bother me any. I didn't care. It was such a fun episode. Well, I had used on my phone, instead of bringing my computer out and all my equipment, I used Spotify for podcasters. Okay. It used to be called Anchor. And then Spotify bought it. It's a really great tool. Well, at some point, they sent an email talking about how they were going to change the way that we record podcasts. And they were doing that so that we could essentially go to another platform. They were streamlining. I'm not going to get into the nerdy ways and nerdy stuff about it, but they said that we would no longer be able to record from our phone on Spotify for podcasters. We would have to upload an episode. Now, I knew that was coming. However, I did not know when. Maybe they said something in my email. I don't know. That could be me. That's my bad. But I recorded the episode. I saved it in my drafts. The next morning, I went to go on, start editing it, listening to it. Because I thought, look, if it sounds like crap, I'll just chop it up in pieces and I'll do it as clips. If it sounds good enough, then I need to edit some of the things out, add the music, all that fun stuff, and I'll post it. Well, guess what? It didn't sound good because it wasn't there. They did the update, changed the complete platform, the complete app, and everything, and I lost my draft. I can't find it. I emailed them to be like, where's my draft? Like, fine, you don't want me to upload anymore, but you didn't even save my draft. All my episodes are there that are currently published, everything. The analytics, the account, the money, all that. But the draft was not there. So I went on the computer. Let me log in. Maybe I can find it on the computer. It's gone. So unfortunately, that episode has disappeared. And I apologize for that. And now we're going to try something new. I'm doing a video. I don't normally like doing these videos by myself. Not that I care. I mean, I've gone on TikTok Live, Spotify, or YouTube, all that. I just really like to sit with my headphones in my studio, zone out, and not have to worry about anything. What I look like, how I look, if I'm wearing pants or not. I mean, I guess it doesn't matter. If I'm wearing a shirt or not. Sometimes I just want to sit there and let my beans hang out and do a podcast. And I don't think anybody needs to, potentially see a situation. That's all I'm saying. But we're trying it today, and I'm recording a new episode because I recorded an episode a week ago. So here's the other thing, guys. Let's rewind this. Thank God that I have recorded several episodes on my computer, ready to roll, and I can upload those to Spotify for podcasters, Riverside, whatever platform, because otherwise I would have lost all those episodes and I would have to start over. The only reason I'm recording this episode now is because I don't want to bump next week's episode right now. I want it to stay where it is. And I was really counting on this big, giant episode of multiple guests. But if I didn't do that, bro, I'd be screwed. And next week's episode's a good one. It's a really good one. Real quick, I'll give a plug for it. Next week, with the recent announcement that the Mirage is officially closing and is gone from Las Vegas, I decided to talk about my 21st birthday, my experience at the Mirage. And there's a lot of things that happened there. And that was a long time ago. So we're going to talk about that episode. But tonight, guys, I gotta I gotta. It would not be the Life of an Average Joe podcast if I didn't talk about certain things on a serious manner and made fun of them. The past week, the episode that we were going to talk about was the shot. The shot heard around the world. The shot we all thought was fake. Maybe the shot that some of you do think is fake. And I'm going to talk to you right now, and I'm going to be straightforward and honest with you. This is not a political episode, guys. This is not a episode where I'm going to sit here and say who you should vote for, why you should vote. It's not an episode that I'm going to sit here and say this person or that or any party. I think you guys have listened to me long enough to know that I think the whole thing is a joke. And I think that in 2024, as we approach 2025, it has gotten even worse. That's the truth. I don't feel any safe way to vote. I don't feel like any one of them is going to do us any good. I understand that some of you might be voting for Trump, and that is your right. And some of you might have been voting for Biden. Not anymore. And some of you might vote for whoever is against Trump. I don't know. The reality is this, though. I am not going to judge you based off who you vote for. I might question it and be like, really? But I could do that in general with almost any candidate. Who you vote for and what you do, that is your right, whatever you believe. If I'm going to sit here and label our relationship, our friendship, the way that we do business together based on who you voted for, then I have to look inward and be like, what am I doing? Because nobody should put that on a pedestal. Nobody should put politicians on a pedestal, their party on a pedestal, so much so that if somebody doesn't agree with you, you hate them and you disassociate yourself with them. And that's what's been going on a lot these days. And it's unacceptable. That being said, when former President Trump got shot, man, I got to be honest with you. I knew who I was talking to. I thought it was fake. I was like, what? Nah. That's some social media TikTok thing. And then it ended up being real. And then we saw a lot of the footage, which just felt very surreal. And anybody that has heard that pop, okay, that's the thing. People were questioning, I didn't know what it sounded like. Look, you heard that pop? That is a gunshot. Anybody who's been around guns, anybody who's had guns fired near them, or they fired a gun, or been in an area of guns, you know that pop. It doesn't matter what type of gun it is. You know it. So it wasn't really hard for me to figure out that pop was actually happening and what was going on. It just didn't feel real. I mean, think about it. We hear it. We see it in movies. We see people get killed. But really? All the security in the world, right? All the security in the world. Nope. And then as we start to watch it and we see the complete meltdown and breakdown of Secret Service, security, police, it just becomes, this is why on TikTok, this is why on social media, so many people sit there and they come out with these ideas. They put the tinfoil hats on. We're all grabbing the foil. And at some point today, guys, during this episode, we're going to grab the foil. And they go, it's fake. It was planned. There's no way it was real. Oh, Trump did it for votes. And then you got these other idiots out there going, why did they miss? By the way, if you hear this chirping, there's a bird outside my window right now. It's storming. There's a bird just chilling on the patio, chirping. I'm trying to muffle it out, but I hear it in my headphones. I don't know if you guys do. It doesn't matter. So people are like, oh my God, that guy had one job and he missed. Really? Look, I'm going to sit there and shoot you down right now, no pun intended, because you don't want that for our country. You just don't. So let's just calm down and move aside. But you start watching everything that took place and you start going, if they were, like I am not saying, I am not saying or accusing anybody of allowing this to happen or accusing anybody, but it's not like they haven't assassinated people before. I'm just saying. It is not like they haven't planned it and you set up some potsy idiot kid who's maybe a little radical. Maybe you get him just thinking that way. And then the minute that he fires, best case scenario, he pops Trump. They kill him, end of story. Worst case scenario in their eyes, not in mine, allegedly, the people that put it together, they miss, boom, you pop him, you kill him anyway. I mean, there's all these weird things that make you wonder, oh, what, you can't get into his cell phone. They literally said that. Well, we haven't been able to get into a cell phone yet. I know for a fact that you can get into a cell phone. I'm pretty sure my 6-year-old son can get into a cell phone. You read my text messages, you flagged me on here. Don't tell me you can't get into a cell phone. Like, come on, guys. Like, is that where we're at right now? Well, we did spot him and we had him in question, but we let it go. You can't even get that close. And you can't even get that high. I mean, sometimes it's even hard to sneak down on the floor in a concert, and you're telling me that that guy just managed to walk up on a roof that was sloped? Oh, it's sloped, so it was dangerous. Didn't look real sloped to me, guys. And also, it's a roof. We're paying you all this money for training. We're paying you all this money for protection. Most high-tech, military out there. They got all these weapons. You got drones. And you can't climb a roof? But this little punk kid just skimmied up there. Skinnier than Jack Skeleton, and he went up there? Man, all our enemies are watching now, dude. All of them are like, oh. So Kim Jong-un's like, oh, that is the weakness of the American. Okay. I will slope roofs. I mean, like, what are we doing? But you start to think about those things and it makes sense. I'm not saying that anybody did it. I'm just saying I understand where the conspiracy theory comes from. But now, within a matter of 36 hours, Biden's got COVID. Again. It's on a Friday, Biden's got COVID. Thursday, Biden's got COVID. Friday, the rumors, the heavy rumors, not just what we heard a month ago, the heavy rumors are circulating. Top Democratic officials and advisors are asking Biden to step down as the Democratic nomination for the election. Rumors. Getting closer on Saturday, probably Sunday, Monday, we're going to find out that he stepped down. Everybody's saying Sunday he's stepped down. There's going to be a letter written, and he's going to step down and step aside for the Democratic Party. Not step down on the presidency, but step aside. And Sunday, guess what happened? At like 11 o'clock. It is announced that President Joe Biden will not be seeking re-election, that he is stepping down, and he endorses Kamala Harris. I'm going to say this in a couple different ways. I'm going to talk about what I believe in practicalities. I'm going to talk about speculation. Are we really buying the fact that this wasn't part of the plan from the beginning? I mean, isn't this one of the things that even the craziest Republicans and even some of the most crazy Democrats that say all kinds of outlandish stuff had pretty much said from the beginning that they highly doubt that Joe Biden will seek re-election, that he will endorse Kamala Harris. Years ago, they said this. It's as if it was planned. I mean, really. And Biden steps down. We have not seen Biden since, guys. It's Wednesday. Biden is sick with COVID. And when you talk to people, you're like, man, we haven't even seen him since. And they're like, well, he's sick with COVID. Man, I got a guy I know who is sick with COVID like 3 times. I've seen him like 4, For the last 2 weeks, I've seen him like 3 times. I'm just saying. Nothing. Nothing. Now we're what, 5.5 months out, give or take? Kamala Harris is in. And it has to be her. Like, guys, it has to be. So she can get all that Biden money, that campaign money. If it's somebody else, they're not going to be able to unlock that money. And now TikTok is being littered with Go Kamala. Kamala. That's a wrestler. Sorry, Kamala. Whatever your name is, Harris. I don't even care. Guys, I sometimes I got to sit there and I got to go, am I in the tinfoil hat right now? Am I in the zone of the tinfoil? Am I part of the tinfoil roundtable? Because I got to be honest with you. Whatever season of Earth we're on right now in the United States, they just like fired the writers and got new ones. We are in one aspect, I'm not surprised by any of this. And another aspect, I'm like, did anybody have Trump getting shot for 2024 on the Jumanji table? Because I didn't. And I got people saying, oh man, Trump's guaranteed now. He had the fist in the air after he got shot. Dude, I ain't gonna lie, that's pretty badass. Because I gotta be honest with you. And people are like, oh, it was staged. He was asking for his shoes. Look, I'm gonna tell you right now, when shock takes over, you can ask for a lot of things. A lot. I got in a car accident. I rolled my truck. I talked about this on one of the episodes. I rolled my truck. Just crazy. I got up. I had glass sticking out of my shoulder. And I had a leather coat on at the time. So it was just like, thank God for it. Because if I didn't have that leather jacket on, it would be in my shoulder blades. But I got out. I look like the Warriors, the movie The Warriors. And I got this glass coming out. I'm like Legion of Doom. And I kept on saying, oh man, I hope my jacket's not ripped. Oh, my jacket isn't ripped. I just flipped my truck. I was in shock. Look, Trump looking for his shoes. That's a shock thing, man. It's not a sign that it was scripted. But I sure sit here and I go, the timing of this is amazing. I'm not sitting here saying that one party decided to take out the other party. We have enough crazy people in the world. But I don't think it's out of the realm of the possibility that they were pushing Biden for the last year and a half. Look, the same people that are controlling President Biden are going to control Harris. And she's younger. And I'm sorry, guys. I'm going to say it right now. She's not the woman. She's not the woman to run the United States. Do I think that a woman could run the United States? Yeah. Come on, guys. Do I think she's the one? No, I don't. Just like I didn't think Hillary was. You want something. We want there's a lot of women out there that are ready for a woman president because of everything that's gone on in history. Because of sexism and racism and it's just everything. They're like, we just want our turn, our time, whatever. I got you. I feel it, But do you want Harris to be the woman that represents you? Because I need somebody to explain to me what she's done. Don't tell me, well, she graduated. She was a lawyer. She came from a busted up state of California. She didn't do anything for that state except incarcerate a lot of black people for stupid stuff. You don't believe me? Look at her incarceration rate. Look at her thoughts on pot and weed. Tell me if that's who you want. Now, she is the right choice for the Democratic Party because they don't have anybody, just like Republicans don't have anybody. She's black. She's a woman. The biggest issue that they face, that Trump is going to face right now, is not his felonies. It's not the Ukraine. It's not taxes. It's abortion. Guys, I am just speaking from a strategic standpoint, and that's all this is, guys. That's all it is. They do not care about you. They care about this chess game that they're playing that we just got sucked into and nobody asked us if we wanted to play. I mean, yeah, sure, we voted too much and we got a bunch of idiots in office, and that's on us. But they're just playing their own game, guys. Don't act like they care about you. Don't act like her winning is a win for all the women in the United States. It's not. Don't act like if Trump wins, it's a win for every Republican out there, because it's not. Because there's a lot of Republicans that don't want Trump as the nominee. But this is what we are as a society right now. But her biggest thing to stand on is, I'm a woman. I can talk about abortion, and I'm gonna go after it. And that, you think I had some guy on Facebook today, maybe Instagram, I can't remember, sit there and say, "Bye, Joe. You think Harris is going to win?" Never. And I said, look, you better watch it, because a lot of you said that you didn't believe that Biden was going to win. And he did. Right? So, and they're like, yeah, but Harris doesn't got it. There's no way. She's going to get smoked. And I'm like, I would not be so sure for two reasons. One, it's not her gift and her talent. It's a lot of people's hatred for Trump. Hate, voting with hate. Okay, whatever. I don't care how you vote. Two is, do you honestly think that they don't have a plan? I mean, really? The Democratic Party is a disaster and a joke, and they're backstabbing each other and all that, much like every politician out there. But you don't think that they're going to do whatever it takes to be getting her in office? You don't think so? Now, if you want to sit here on paper and say who's going to win, yeah, it's probably not Harris. But if you want to sit here and talk about it from a strategic standpoint and a political standpoint and the world that we live in going into 2025, I would not be so sure to sit there and just write off Harris just because on paper Joe Biden didn't look like he was going to do it. Let's be real. And he did. Everything that's happening right now is the opposite of what people thought. And everything that's, which what tells me that some of these, let's put the foil on tight, guys. Come on. Some of these tinfoil guys, you might be onto something. You might be. Look, I don't know what it means for our country, but what it does mean is that we are in for another bad season. And I don't know about you guys, I'm tired. I got too many ailments right now. Going on like day 5 of feeling lightheaded. Nobody knows why. That's a whole nother issue. I just think that the timing of everything has me scratching my head. Look, we're at a position in our country where I don't care. I know a lot of people that fought hard to give you the right to vote. And you know what? That's amazing to me. But they also gave you the right not to vote. And I am sick of people telling me that I have to exercise my right to vote. I have to. It's not a dictatorship. You have to exercise your right to vote. Well, that sounds like a dictatorship to me. If you're forcing me to do something, is that like, it sounds like a dictatorship. You know how many people died for your right to vote and you're pissing it away? You know how many times yes, I know how many people died for my vote. But do you know if I vote for somebody, I'm pissing it away because I don't have faith in either one of them, and I shouldn't have to be forced to sit there and vote for two people. We have screwed up this country by being forced to have a two-party system because a third-party system can't get it together, and because we got 87-year-olds running. And the only reason we got somebody young running is because the old crypt keeper that they got can't do it. And quite frankly, whatever we want to talk about, whatever we want to say about Joe Biden, it doesn't matter about his politics. It doesn't matter about what he's done or hasn't done. The reality is he is a human being. And he should not be traipsed around the country. Could we just go let him sit in his chair and enjoy whatever years he has left, 5, 10, 20, whatever he has with his wife, and just relax and live his life? Let him eat ice cream. Let him watch TV. Whatever he wants to do. Like, it, as a country, we should all be laughed at, and we probably are right now. The world has been watching for a long time as we slip into our chaotic seasons of bad actors and bad writing. So yes, Joe Biden's old. Yes, he shouldn't be in office. Cool, he's not going to be anymore. Can we stop? Can we put him away? Because now you have another old man, and now you have a woman that, I'm sorry, I don't think is qualified. This is what we got, guys. This is what we got. You can sit there and be like, well, what about Bernie? Bernie's ancient. I don't want him. It doesn't matter if he has a real idea or a radical idea. Let me make something clear. No matter what Bernie's ideas are, no matter how good they are, do you think that he's doing it for the good of his people, or do you think he's doing it for himself? Because if you believe for 1 second that he is doing all these things or speaking about all these things for the good of the people without getting something on the back end, you are high. No politician at that level is looking out for the good of the people. So Bernie may talk about, we should have this, we should have this, it's not fair, it's not fair. Meanwhile, look at how much he's worth. If he was poor, I'd probably believe him. On that level in Washington, they are not affecting you. The ramifications and the choices they make, yes, some of them could affect you immediately, but the rest of them are going to affect the generations. My son, who's going to have to deal with this bullcrap after I'm dead. I mean, come on, guys. So we got to stop sitting here looking at this pool of a handful of people that we can choose from. And then you look at who could be her running mate. Newsman. That's what we need. That dude looks like a DC villain. It's like, if he was connected to Lex Luthor and somehow, I believe it. He looks like the quintessential politician who might have buried a few bodies in his backyard. And he's also governor of California, which is a corrupt, broke, disgusting state. I'm sorry. Whitmore from Michigan. Good old Gretchen. What? All the list of people that we're pulling from are the same spokes on the wheel that have corrupted and destroyed this country as we sat back and attempted to stop it by fighting with each other on social media. Come on, guys. We are in we're in idiocracy right now. And honestly, I'm starting to look at the tinfoil people being like, I'm not saying you're right, but I'm not saying you're right. But I'm not saying you're wrong, but I'm not saying that you could be right on a couple of these things. It's weird to me. And I still don't think, I said it the other night, I don't think that Trump is winning. I know. Oh, Brandon, he got shot. He did this. He did that. I mean, he's Harris now. He's got it. No, I don't know. I'm just saying. And I got to be honest with you. If she wins by a landslide, like a ginormical amount, I'm going to start questioning a lot of things. Yes, I'm referring to rigged elections. Why? Because I think they're all rigged to begin with. I don't think any of them is run right. So there you go. Even if it was the guy I voted for that won, I think there's a whole other thing going on. We are in some crazy times, guys. Like, this is nuts. I don't know. Really, everybody should be worried, to be honest with you. I mean, dude, you got the Secret Service that can't do anything. They bought the Secret Service at a dollar store. They literally look like a bunch of extras on a Law and Order episode. Oh yeah, those guys will work. What? It's like a strip club on a Tuesday. You just get what you get. That's what happened on Secret Service Day on a Wednesday. Well, this is all we could get on a Wednesday. I don't even know if some of them had guns. They were just Nerf. Oh crap! It was like in that movie, The Other Guys, when like Will Ferrell gets his gun taken away, and Michael Keaton gives him that mold, that wooden mold of another one, and then he finally just gives him a rape whistle. That's what Secret Service has. They don't have guns; they have rape whistles. I can't even whistle. We got a shot. I don't know. That's not a whistle. I don't know. What am I doing? But that's the rape whistle for Secret Service. Trump's better hiring thugs off the street. Give them money and they'll be there, man. You better roll in with some Crips or something. Or Bloods or something, man. You know, call Kendrick, be like, yo, I saw you unite, Blood and Crips. Can you bring anybody? I need them. My Secret Service is a bunch of morons. They arrived on the bus. I don't even know who hired them. But it's crazy, guys. We are in for a crazy one. So, that being said, all I can say is buckle up, take care of your own. Don't get too emotional over politics because it ain't worth it. Listen to the Life of an Average Joe podcast every Wednesday. You can check me out on Spotify, lifeofanaveragejopodcast.com, YouTube, Apple Podcasts. By the way, I got some news. This is crazy. I was looking at demographics. Spain has popped up more. I already know Ireland. The UK has popped up more. The percentages have gone up. Respect. But we have a shift. Maybe that's why Kamala's running. We have a shift as far as the majority of listeners that I have, guys. The age demographics are kind of the same, and I'll post some of this. 86.4, I think that's the number, percent of my listeners are women. I mean, they're probably all ex-girlfriends and wives and people I talked about on the show, but that's besides the point. That's a huge number. Men, where you at? Where you at? Like, for real. But no, I love it, and I thank you, girls and women out there. Some of you I do know, and I thank you. The other one is, I thought was really interesting, Spotify is creeped up, as far as listenership, percentage-wise. But the number 2 is not Apple Podcast. It's not. I mean, percentage-wise is. But where they listen to it, do you know that the number 2 device platform is the Amazon Alexa? That creeped up. I looked back at the transition and the growth, and it jumped by like 10%. So, hey, I'm making changes. It explains a lot. It explains a lot of weird numbers, but I'm into it. So thank you guys for everything, man. I'll be back next week with that Mirage episode. So, and I'm not talking about like what I saw, although I did see some things in Vegas. So you're going to have to listen to the 21st birthday Vegas experience from what my picture said I did, what I remember, and the story of the Mirage, because honestly, it was one of the coolest experiences I ever had. Longest experiences I ever had. I would never go to Vegas as long as I did. But tune in next week, and we will get an episode back when we get the rest of the crew back on here. If I can ever find that episode, if it does appear again, I'll post it. I don't care if it's 6 months from now, but we'll see you next week. If I could ever figure this out, guys. You see that?